And you brought the Excel. Like it. Morning.
Welcome, madam.
And he even said, let there be smiles. And there were smiles. Where it is. We know where it is. We can take you there. And so we also believed them. Because we all want to go to this paradise. After all, it is a land flowing with milk and honey. So they gave us sweet promises. Very sweet promises. Oh. In fact, they told us about the free plane, first class to paradise. Their slogan was, oh, no problem. Any question, no problem. Their motto, all is well. All is well. And so we believed them because we all wanted paradise. And so in this land, as we gathered ourselves, as we moved on, searching for these places, you ask yourself, so this place they are telling you about, is it true? Oh, that is the question of an unbeliever who is throwing away the grace of God. Because even Thomas, doubting Thomas believed later. And our pastor, after the holy water, after Florida water, he has declared that this is my fence hotter than the desert. Betrayed, we are abandoned this. That is the verse I now sing. If only. But it's simple. After all, ye too kwanya, ye nkra. And so these traffickers also rejoice.
Thank you so much, Njakujo. You're too quiet and crash. Shh. Otherwise, I'll be for Betty. That's the little we can add.
Honorable Dr. Agnes Naa Momo Lartey, my dear sister, for the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection. Honorable Ellen, if I don't pronounce it well, forgive me. So, unsos. Great, thank you so much. And Chairman for the Media Lounge, the President of Ghana Journalists Association, Dr. Marian Papa, I hope it's well pronounced, Chief Director for the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, distinguished guests, partners, media, and invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Good morning again. It is a great pleasure for me to join you today at the national launch of the World Day Against Trafficking in Person 2026. Under the theme, human trafficking can end. The time is no. The times is long time ago, let's say, but we will take it as it is, but we want to move on. Blow the whistle on sport trafficking. Human trafficking remains a serious violation of human rights and growing concern in the context of migration, mobility, and economic vulnerability. It is not a distant threat. It is a present reality that continues to exploit the dreams, ambitions, and the vulnerabilities of people, especially young African athletes seeking opportunities abroad. Today, we affirm that this can be prevented, disrupted, and ultimately ended through collective action. We say the time is now, and we blow the whistle to stop immediately. Through our project, Addressing Trafficking in Sport in Ghana, founded by IOM Development Fund and implemented with the Ministry of Sport and Creation and the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, IOM Ghana has generated important evidence on the risk facing young people pursuing sports. This underscores the urgent need for awareness and prevention. It is for these reasons that I commend the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection for centering the lens on human trafficking through sport for this year's commemoration of the Blue Day. Thank you so much, Madame la Ministre. Ending trafficking in sport requires trusted information, stronger system, and accountable institutions. It also requires communities, families, coaches, and the media to act as a first line of protection by identifying risk early and sharing credible information. So I'm very happy today to be here, and I'm happy to see the media. The media is here and the first to be called upon to help in advancing this cause. The media is the right channel to help the authorities. The media is the right channel to speak up. The media is the right channel to act through the prosecution. And you have the most important role to play in this agenda. So we really rely on you, and I'm sure that through the right way of blowing and of sharing the right information, you will definitely be part of the solution, not only speaking, but taking action concretely also alongside the process. So I'm very happy to see you all here. The media has a critical role, as I was saying, in shaping perception, amplifying awareness, particularly this point, and ensuring responsible survivors in century reporting that does not intentionally enable traffickers. Madam Chairperson, sport should open doors to opportunities and dignity, not to be used as a tool for exploitation. Human trafficking in sport can end, but only if we speak up, act early, and blow the whistle on abuse and deception. Now is the time to protect young African athletes and ensure that their dreams are pursued safely, freely, and with dignity, which is very important. Blowing the whistle is not just symbolic, it is practical responsibility. We are grateful for the continued support of the government of Ghana and the other agencies whose commitment to safe migration, youth protection, and fair and ethical recruitment, not only the athletes, but our young people, without passing through the normal channels. And this is creating a kind of deep trafficking in person without having the proper mechanism already to the proper channels that they have to follow through the Ministry of Gender, through the Ministry of Labor, to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, because we develop policies. A lot of policies have been developed in this way, but how can we turn those policies that we develop into action, following the action plans? That is what will help us to see how we can also support them to have this ethical recruitment. Because at the end of the day, it is about ethics. How do we recruit properly the young? Because they have the skills, they have everything, but we are not helping them to be recruited normally and to follow their path and their dreams. So we need to end human trafficking, because ending human trafficking is achievable. It is achievable, but only if we act decisively, but together. The time is now to strengthen protection systems, expand safe opportunities, and ensure that sport remains what it should be, a space of dignity, opportunity, and development, not exploitation. And I can tell you that this is a society issue. It's not the government or authorities or partners. It's a society issue. So we are all have to take our responsibility and be part of the solution.
And I think it's the longest stretch from Taylor Kope all the way to Chakara, to Akrapi, to Bunjari, and to Basari, and Akamade Nkwanta. So I bordered the longest stretch. So I was praying very hard that you don't make any specific examples and make mention any area around my constituency. So we will join hands with you. And I want to assure you that being MP for 5.5 years, I have not encountered any such child trafficking reports on that stretch of the Volta where that borders my constituency. But we'll keep an eye and we'll endeavor to work together just in case something has escaped me. Auntie Ama, you are welcome. You are the true Africa. And I'm sure you all join me in celebrating her. Yesterday we marked AU Day. And here we have the true replica of AU. Welcome to Ghana. In any form, human trafficking comes in various forms. And in any form that we identify it, we owe a duty to ourselves, to humankind, and to the child to work towards ending it. The theme is both timely and urgent. It reminds us that human trafficking is not a distant problem. It's happening in our communities, in our schools, in our homes, and increasingly within the world of sports. And whereas the word can mean ability to, the word that should properly be speaking to this event today is should. Emphasis mine. An excitement builds towards every sports activity. And as the excitement to the FIFA World Cup 2026 begins to build, many young people across Ghana dream of becoming the next global football stars. While sports creates opportunities and hope, they have unfortunately also become a channel for exploitation and trafficking. Unscrupulous agents and traffickers often take advantage of young athletes and their families with false promises of contracts, trials, and opportunities abroad. Many victims end up abandoned, exploited, or trapped. I have commended the minister many times for highlighting and bringing visibility to the work of the ministry, and we want to encourage her. She's doing so much, especially in the area of children. And so doing this today for me is another layer of a milestone that she's chalked. If you listened carefully to the address of the presentation that we watched, we were told that the human trafficking unit of the Ghana Police, headed by Superintendent William Ayariga, is making a lot of strides in terms of arrests and dealing with issues. The interesting part is that the data shared indicated an increase every year in the number of cases that they've managed. That speaks to what is happening today, that there is an awareness that enables people to report such cases to ensure that the law enforcement agencies are brought in and it is curtailed. So sports will remain sports. We all love our sports, but we have to work on the young people, and that's the crux of your question. What is missing? We need to engage with them. If you listen to you read the Hague Declaration of the Protection of the Child, 1966. It didn't end at the protection, but it also put a responsibility on parents. So as parents, as society, as government, we have a duty, we have a responsibility to the youth of this country to open their minds, to keep them, make them aware of happenings out there. And I mean, all of us know this glossy saying that not all that glitters is gold. Although, if you listen carefully to Mr. Brimes, watch his presentation, they will come with all sorts of proposals, making it look like you are literally being sent to heaven. Ask questions. It's one thing I urge Ghanaian youth as a politician and as an adult and a mother. I still ask questions. I usually want to understand things. Don't just get carried away with what you've told. Be inquisitive. Fortunately, today the internet exists. The social media exists. You can search on every aspect of life on the internet just to be sure that you are making the right decision. If an agent comes and making a proposal, you have ways of double checking. If you are in doubt, please don't. That is the way I think government needs to look at how to get our information services department running, get the National Commission for Civic Education running, and in partnership with the traditional media, let's keep advocating and promoting sensitization to the youth so that they can make informed decisions. By the time a young person decides to sign a contract, he's fully sure that what he's doing is not going to impair his future. As adults, as parents, as policymakers, as lawmakers, we also need to keep our eyes open in the environment. We need to listen more. We need to ask about questionable dealings. We shouldn't just take everything on the surface. It's when we probe that we get to know the doings. So I continue to encourage the ministry. We will all join the advocacy in the 2 months commemorating bringing an end to human trafficking, so that we can create greater exposure to the Ghanaian people. Thank you very much.
This is the crowd. I'm photo bombing. Let me join. Okay, Kasem.
Okay, let's smile.
Yes, so these are two. No, I'm good for meeting before going for that. So how many meetings? What are they like? What are invitation? There were 1,000.
Any